So October is officially behind us. I hope you all had a spooktacular Halloween, but now it's time to get on to the next big holiday. No, not you. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about No Fap November. So No Fap November, or No Nut November, as it's also referred to, is an internet challenge wherein the participants abstain from masturbation or watching porn for the month of November. Now, while No Nut November started as sort of a satirical Reddit joke, participants started to claim that abstaining from masturbation and watching pornography actually had some serious health benefits. So challenging your buddies to see who can go the longest without playing the old skin flute can be really fun and revealing. There's no question that many people do have an unhealthy obsession with pornography. And not only can this be an embarrassing problem to talk about, but it can actually have some serious negative effects on your mental health and development, not to mention making you feel lazy and unmotivated. But why is porn so hard to give up that we have to dedicate an entire month to the endeavor? Porn is just so easy to access these days. Consuming porn used to mean sneaking into your stepdad's bathroom cabinet after everyone had gone to sleep and rummaging through his Hustler magazines with a bottle of your mom's Clinique hand lotion. Just a hypothetical. But today, with nothing more than a smartphone and McDonald's Wi-Fi, you have free, unlimited access to all the porn you could ever watch. Another reason that porn's so hard to quit is because of all the variety. Now listen, when it comes to sexual kinks, I'm pretty basic vanilla. Just stomp on my with your stilettos, put your cigarette out on my punch me in the face when I'm about to finish. But some people are into weird stuff, and no matter how out there it is, the internet truly has something to tickle everyone's fancy. The third big problem with porn is instant gratification. You see, pornography and masturbation appeal to our reptile side of the brain. That's the part of our brain that deals with all of our instincts like breathing and balance and our drive to reproduce. So it kind of makes sense that when we're watching porn or jacking off and our brain thinks we're having sex, in other words, reproducing, it's going to send a boatload of dopamine throughout our system so that we want to do more of that. But what our reptile brains don't understand is that we're not ejaculating into a fertile partner, we're ejaculating into a crusty old sock that you've had under your pillow for like 2 months and you need to do laundry. You know, don't even wash it. Just throw it out and get some more socks. But, stop that. That's fucking gross. So if porn is so hard to quit and it makes you feel good, why would you ever stop? Well, aside from the negative side effects like low self-esteem, laziness, relationship problems, warts, and God's disapproval, there are also several benefits to quitting or even cutting back on the amount of porn you consume. The first benefits include your mood and motivation. Remember that sex, even with yourself, takes up a lot of energy. So reducing the amount of excess masturbation is going to leave you with a lot more drive to pursue your ambitions. Giving up porn can also have a big effect on our self-esteem and our relationships. See, porn is basically simulated sex without any of the effort of an actual relationship. You remember relationships, right? Where you have to start out slow and introduce yourself and go out on a date and get that first kiss and eventually hook up in a Chuck E. Cheese bathroom at her little brother's birthday party. Sounds like a lot of work, but like most things in life, putting in all that time and effort makes getting the thing 1,000 times better. But porn gives us the reward without any of the effort, which can actually stunt us socially and make the idea of even walking up to a girl seem impossible, even though you just watched another girl get doused with Hidden Valley Ranch and gangbanged by 7 dwarves. So by this point in the video, you've either decided to give quitting porn a try, or you've closed this tab and gone to find that dwarves video I just described, which is counterintuitive, I guess. Anyway, for those of you who believe you would benefit from cutting down on porn and masturbation, you're probably wondering how to start. So you'll find a lot of basic bitch tips on YouTube about quitting porn, such as group challenges like No Fap November, but also porn blocker apps, and of course, good old self-restraint. The problem with these solutions is that they're temporary, not long-term. That group challenge may get you through the month of November, but come December, your room's gonna look like the inside of a snow globe. You know, because of all the white shit hanging everywhere. Gross. The second problem is that these are just surface solutions to a much deeper issue. Okay, so here's the part of the video where I go all Dr. Phil on your ass. Are you ready? Go ahead and get your Kleenexes out. Not for that, you filthy pervert, for crying. You're sick. Here's the reality. The underlying reason that you feel the need to watch porn and play with yourself is because it gives you a sense of instant gratification and fulfillment that you're not getting from your everyday life. Put simply, if you were already living a fulfilled, productive life with a project you were really passionate about and driven to pursue, in other words, if you were already living with a purpose, then you wouldn't feel that overwhelming itch to take your laptop into the bathroom or the closet or the attic or wherever you hide from God and do that dirty deed. It's a hard truth to face, but once you accept it, you'll be ready to follow these 4 pro tips to overcome your porn addiction once and for all. Pro tip number 1, lose some weight. So what do McDonald's and masturbation have in common? They both start with an M and make you feel like crap afterwards. I know, didn't expect that one, did you? But evidence shows that there is some correlation between leanness and a lower sex drive. Now, I can attest to this personally because this guy used to be a prisoner to self-flagellation. Like, so much so that Pornhub would call me if I hadn't logged into my account in 12 hours because their stock would start to dip. This guy, on the other hand, who I call Fit Sexy Hayden 2.0, did not think about porn or sex at all. Like, my wife had to remind me that it had been like 2 or 3 months since we had had sex, and I was like, oh, wow, we should probably schedule that in. So that may lend some truth to that theory that getting lean reduces your overall horniness tendencies, but I think it was a lot simpler than that. I was just so focused on losing 60 pounds and getting into the best shape of my life that I didn't really have time to sit around and watch porn and masturbate. I was driven by a goal and I had better things to do. In other words, I was living with a purpose. Quitting porn, pro tip number 2. Make it a point to socialize, even in a pandemic. Man, I bet COVID has been great for the online porn business because for so long people were confined to their homes with nothing to do and no one to see and nowhere to go. And for an addict, boredom leads to watching porn like 90% of the time. But now that a lot of those public restrictions have been lifted a bit, it's so important to get out into the world and have those face-to-face interactions, even if you still gotta wear a mask. Look, I'm not the world's most social guy. I've been known to read a text message and not respond for months at a time. It really pisses off my wife. But take it from an introverted extrovert like me. Getting out into the world and having those interactions is the healthiest thing you can do for your brain right now. I know shit's crazy at the moment, but do yourself a huge favor. Make plans to go out and see a friend, even if it's only grabbing a bite to eat. And who knows, maybe if you're funny and polite, that cute waitress will leave you her number on the receipt. And then you won't need that fake shit anymore. Pro tip number 3. So this goes back to the point I made earlier, but it's without a doubt one of the most important steps that you can take to quitting your porn problem once and for all. And it is to have a purpose and work hard to achieve it. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. In fact, most of us go through our daily lives without an actual sense of purpose. Or worse off, we have a purpose, but we've pushed it down under all the things that we've deemed more important, like our office job, or that new video game, or even Netflix. If that's the case for you, then rediscover that purpose or find a new one. And it doesn't really matter what purpose you choose. For me, it was losing all that weight and seeing my abs for the first time. But as long as it's something important to you, and achieving it will make you a better version of yourself. Why does that work? Having a purpose means that you have shit to get done every day, which doesn't leave a lot of time for boredom. Furthermore, if you find yourself watching porn instead of working towards that purpose, chances are you're going to feel a tremendous sense of guilt because you know that there are things you should be doing that you're not. And that alone may be enough for you to close the laptop and get your butt back to business. And finally, pro tip number 4 for kicking porn, don't fixate on quitting. Now this may sound counterintuitive, but see, Back in the day, I used to make all these vows to kick porn once and for all. Whenever I did, I would keep a list or even download an app that kept track of how many days it had been since I had watched porn. But that didn't work for me. Sure, sometimes I went weeks or even a month without watching porn, but it was all I thought about. And if you spend all your time and energy on avoiding something, that thing still controls you. And eventually you're gonna crack and you're gonna get sucked back into the void big time. Pro tip number 5. That's right, I was gonna do 4, but I decided to throw in a bonus tip. Now this one can apply to porn, but also anything else that you're trying to do in life. And it's all about failure. Whenever you try to implement a positive change in your life, you are going to feel a ton of resistance. You're going to have disappointments and setbacks. In those moments, do your future self a favor, wake up the next day, and start again. Remember to tell yourself that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And the person that you meet at the finish line is going to be a much more confident, driven, badass version of you. So there you have it. 5 pro tips to help you overcome your porn problem once and for all. Now, be sure to clear your browser history so no one knows you watched this video. And come on, I know you know how to clear your browser history. And while you're here, go ahead and drop some celebratory love down in the comment section below. And until next time, this has been Hayden with Average Joe Fitness. I'll see you back soon.